Hello everybody, Felicia here, and before I get started with my layout, I would like to introduce you to a new flare designs by Adam Westwood and Sara Scraps designed the sequence mix here. So the two of our Sparklers team members here have designed some pretty cool stuff, and we want to make sure that you guys know about it, so you might want to stop by the shop and get yours before they run out. All right, now I am going to be talking about this video here. I am using another sequins mixed designed by Sara Scraps called Sea Glass. And what I decided to do was to pair this with one of my kits that I get, quarterly kits that I get from Allie Edwards. And I'm pairing that with this kit, the circles kit, and I love it because the colors match it perfectly, like this what I'm cutting out right now. So this is one of the pattern sheets from that kit, and I'm cutting it out and making waves. Now this is not all about what I'm pairing it with, it's the sequins mix themselves, because they just so happen to match perfectly with this, and I was amazed at how well this came out and how it looked. It was beautiful. And so what I'm doing right now is this process is I'm cutting out some waves. Now I had this tool where I just kind of pencil the waves in, and then I just go ahead and I actually have to fussy cut and hand cut that out myself. So that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, I didn't want you to see the whole process, so it's pretty much done there. And so I'm gonna use this on my layout. And then this is another piece of paper from that kit too that actually matches the sequins mix sea glass, and it was perfect because I'm going to use the circles here in this kit. So I'm cutting those out with my puncher, so they're about 1 inch, because that is a 1 inch punch right there that you see. And I am cutting that out and getting all the circles off of this, and I'm just going to be using the circles from this to match all of the colors that are in the sequins mix. So let's see, what am I? Yep, I'm getting that done right now. So I am done with that. So all these circles are going to go on, almost all of them I should say, is going to go on this layout. Now as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, I have to make sure that I refer, because I have a sketch already drawn out for this, and so I had to make sure that I refer to the sketch that I have drawn out for this layout. So if you ever have that issue, just keep your sketch off to the side like I have to. So that's what I do. So now I am trying to figure out how I'm going to put these on. I know I want this. So what I'm doing is I am doing the original title of this layout, I should say, was going to be Sunset Outliers. Now what I'm doing is, I know you're like, what does that mean? Well, it means I am making this like a statistical type of deal thing. So if you've ever taken statistics, then you know exactly what I mean. So you have like this graph, and then you have most of your information, your data information, that gathers in the middle. And then sometimes you have little straggly ones and things like that on the outside, and those are called outliers. So the more you get centered to the main dot in the middle here, which we're using that as an example, this is kind of like how it goes. And the closer they get, the more accurate your information is going to be. Well, this is not a statistics problem, but this is how it's going to go. It's going to kind of look like that. That was the original title of it, but I decided to change the title, so you'll see what the title is at the end. And if anybody's familiar, those are the lines that you see there, and then the circles go along those lines and graphs. So if you ever taken statistics, you kind of have a familiar, you kind of know what this is and what I'm doing here. So I thought that'd be a cool way to do that. And there's the photo right there. And that photo is a beautiful photo. It's a sunset photo of Belize off of my balcony inside of my hotel room when I took that trip to Belize, and it was gorgeous. So I decided to go ahead and take a photo of that, and that's what I came up with, and it was beautiful. So that's why I am going to be using it. And I also decided to go ahead and make it a circle thing. So right now I'm placing the circles where I want them to go, and these are the basic circles that are going down. So now that I've gotten the lines, the squiggly lines down, I'm putting the photo right there in the middle, and that's how it's going to be. And now the rest of the circles are outside of that circle. That's why it was originally going to be called outliers, but I'm not going to be calling it that, but I'm still going to do, you know, the way I have the sketch written or drawn up there, I should say. Oh my goodness, this is so, I love the way this turns out. You're going to see how it turned out at the end. It really was like, oh my goodness, I like this. And so I think I'm going to kind of I have an idea of how I want to do my layouts pretty much from now on. I definitely want to make sure that I do something exciting each and every time, because the sequence mix that I use calls for an exciting layout. So why not do an exciting layout? And that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm getting all the circles down and glued down, and then I'm going to start with the sequences. And this has always been this is the funnest part of putting the layout together, I kid you not, is when it comes time for me to put down these sequins, because it's therapeutic. I said this before, but I don't know, it's just like you just grab your finest pair of tweezers that you have, and you just start gluing, put the glue dots down, and then put the sequins right on the glue dots, and you just it's just great. So you can see there I poured some out. So I'm going to be scattering these sequences all over the layout here, so you can kind of see what it looks like now, and it's starting to take on its shape and its form exactly how I have it in my sketch. So I am putting out, you know, the sequences sporadically throughout the layout, and these count as well. You know, usually when you're doing statistics, I mean, the circles aren't as big as you see the pie chart looking circles. They're usually tiny like the sequences, and so I thought that would be fun, just put one big one and then a whole bunch of little ones around it and things like that. So, and I don't do much journaling on this photo because I know what this photo is all about. I actually have a Belize album itself, and so I don't need to do any journaling pretty much on this layout. I just put what it is around the circle and then the date that I took the photo. So that's what I do with that. So I'm pretty much, you can see now I've got most of the sequences down. I didn't want you to watch that long drawn out process, even though I enjoy it. I don't know how many other people will enjoy it. So I just kind of just do my, you know, kind of cut it there a little bit. So as you can see, I put sequence in between. Love this. Now that is like a patch like type of deal thing. And so I took the adhesive off and then I just separated the circles, and then I put the sequences in between the circles there. Alrighty, so now I am going to be titling this Sunset High. Because when I looked at that sunset, boy, I tell you, it was so gorgeous. I've never seen anything like that before. We don't have sunsets like that here in California. And so when I took that particular photo, I was just blown away. And all of that you see out there past that, underneath that sunset, is just all jungle. So that was the cool thing about it too, is being able to take a photo. It almost kind of looks like the Lion King, the opening of the Lion King, of it coming up. You know, if anybody's seen the Lion King, if you have children, or if you're just like me, an empty nester, and you just rewatch all the Disney movies that you and your kids used to watch, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting down the H and the I here on the layout. And now I'm going to take the G. Now the G doesn't quite fit on there. And so I figured, since it is titled Sunset High, because at first I was going to go ahead and cut it off. But then I thought, you know what? No, let me make it kind of like that. So I made the G higher than everything else. So hence the title Sunset High. So there you have it. It kind of worked out for the better, you know? And so that's what I usually do. I usually try to go with the flow when I'm making these layouts, because if you stress out too much and you overthink it, it can cause you to have all kinds of stress, and it won't be fun. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to just go ahead and do it that way. And then I'm adding some more sequences here on the layout. As you can see, I'm jumbling them up and everything. And I made sure that I didn't have any of the tips of the wavy lines shown. So now I'm writing along the edge, the Belize sunset, beautiful. And then I write, taken in 5/2019. Yes, I still have photos from that trip, and I am, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. So now what I'm going to do is sprinkle some of the gold Heidi Swap mist down here and just complete this layout. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm sporadically sprinting, you know, kind of putting them on. And I covered up the photo because I didn't want any to get on the photo or anything. All right, so that really concludes the layout there, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch this on the Spiegelmom Scraps channel. And be sure to log into the shop there so that you can get your own sequins. And don't forget to go ahead and get that sequence and flare mix because they will run out. Thank you guys so much once again for watching, and have a great and wonderful, wonderful scrappy week. Bye-bye.